Hello there, and welcome. Welcome to the Resident Evil 4 Remake demo called the Chainsaw Demo. It is dropped on PC, PS5, PS4, Series X, Series S. I'm unsure if it's on Xbox One or Xbox One X or One S. But yeah, so let's go through this. So I'm going to be playing on the PC version, so I'll be using a mouse and a keyboard. Settings wise, as you can see, there is quite a lot of settings. You can customize things like your weapon aiming and different colorations and stuff. Color space, yeah. As you can see, these are my specs here. Nothing super high end, but not bad. Graphics card's a bit on the lower end, but not too bad at all. I think this has the same or similar sort of bugs to the RE2. As you can see, the amount of video RAM, I'm not sure. I'm not really an expert on this sort of stuff. So, as you can see, we'll go through the settings quickly, and you can just see what I'm running. I've just most of it's on default. I believe I enabled ray tracing, and the other good thing actually is I could have sworn I had ray tracing on. Is these FX Super Resolution? These will be very helpful for anybody on lower end hardware in terms of graphics card, especially. They're very similar to DLSS. Although for everything I've read, most people say DLSS is slightly better, but um, it's a matter of an opinion, I suppose, on that side of things. So very handy to have, especially in just a demo of the game. I am obviously unfortunately running at 1080p. I'm at 144 Hertz. Something hopefully in the future I'll be able to get is a decent higher end monitor. But anyway, let's get into the game. I have done a quick video on Resident Evil 4 and the original. That's my first playthrough of the demo. But I had absolutely adored RE2, especially the remake.
September 30th, 1998. It's a day I'll never forget. The cop inside me died that day. And that night, Raccoon City was wiped out, thanks to the bioweapons created by Umbrella. Somehow I made it out, but too many others weren't so lucky. I was asked later to join a top-secret government program. Not that I had a choice. The training, punishing missions, nearly killed me. But at least I kept my mind off everything. If I could just forget what happened that night. The pain, even for a second. This time, it can be different. It has to.
I've actually been going through collecting the Resident Evil games. I picked up Resident Evil, the original, GameCube version, a couple of weeks, about a month back, saying that now, I think. So I've been quite getting into the collection. The original games still are good, yeah, sure, they have aged in comparison to the newer stuff, but this is the game everyone loves the most, ironically. For me, RE4 is definitely not my top Resident Evil game. I prefer the survival horror aspect way more. But at the same time, I made this argument before that Resident Evil 4 is by far the most accessible of all the Resident Evil games, other than 5 and 6 as well. In terms of it's easy, it's not easy, but its controls are very easy to get to grips with. And here's the first change. So if you've seen my video or anybody else's video, the original Resident Evil, you actually get out of the police car, jeep, whatever you want to call it, 4x4, and you actually go to the village first. In this version, they've changed that up, and you're actually they've actually got in before you, and it's a Resident Evil game, so you'll see what happens to them. It's not going to be particularly that pleasant. Graphically, this is very, very impressive. I mean, considering the original version, which I actually purchased it on Series X not too long ago, and I'm actually playing through it at the moment. That came out in 2005, so... And I didn't actually think that game needed a remake. The one that I think warrants a remake is Code Veronica. It's the one Resident Evil game that I've never cleared, sadly, for some reason. So, shift to run.
How far could he have gone?
Right, so in my first playthrough, I wasted all my ammo. I'm going to attempt not to do that this time. But I do wonder whether Resident Evil 9 is going to be the next game they go on for, because it is... Well, I think they've finished Ethan's story from Village now, and his daughter's story, I believe. And I bought Village. I played it on PC. I've played it once, and it was a fun game. Bits of it were better than others. I wasn't as keen on the end point where you play as Chris, where you're just gunning everything down, but it wasn't too bad. I like the castle bit with Lady is it Demetras? Something like that. And the baby bit especially was a great deal of fun. Horrible, but and there was like a fish character you had to fight, like a fish guy. Again, pretty creepy. But I'm hoping with 9 they're going to go back to the original characters. Because personally, I thought Resident Evil 7 was better than Village. And Village very much, other than the perspective, which is a first-person perspective, it's sort of... It doesn't rip off this, but it's very, very similar in terms of...
Anyone home?
in terms of the aesthetics and that. But I'll be quite curious to see what they do. I hope that we do get a Code Veronica remake. Because that's the one game I'm still trying to get. They go for a lot of money, the Resident Evil. The GameCube versions and even the Dreamcast versions can be quite pricey. I think I've seen Code Veronica go for about 42 to up to about £50. So yeah, that was and RE3 as well. That's the other one. But then again, to be honest, GameCube games in general are really, really expensive, depending on what the game is. I've just purchased, and I've played it before, but I haven't played it in a long, long time. And I played it on my brother's Wii, and that is The Legend of Zelda: Twilight Princess. And that set me back a pretty penny. That was like £77, which is quite a lot, really, considering. What's interesting about this is that in the original version of the original game, this is a very small area. It's like a tiny little shack. It's nothing like this.
Sorry to barge in like this. Busco a un policía. Vino aquí?
And I believe these guys are called the Los. Is it Los Gatos or Los something to that degree? I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's like a parasite that infects them. Very, very similar in a lot of ways, I suppose, to Resident Evil 5.
Man, that stinks.
But a very, very sort of it still retains a lot of what makes Resident Evil, even though it is slightly different in terms of the aesthetics and the way the game plays. And there's not that many puzzles in this particular version of the game. There's a few, but obviously the emphasis is more. It is more action based, but there's still a lot of tension, especially when you get to the. It's like I think it's a lab. I can't remember at the end of the game. There's always a lab in Resident Evil at some point or another, usually. Where you have to shoot the. I can't remember what they're called, but they've got these monsters that have got these little like parasites, and you have to hit the parasites to stop them. It's the only way to bring them down. There's like 3 to 4 parasites per one of these like monster like pale zombies, but with like long teeth and long fangs. I can't remember what they're called off the top of my head, but there's a lot of them, and they're quite tense, and they make these really creepy ass noises in the original. So God knows what they're going to be like in this version.
Hey. I read you. What's your situation?
His situation's effed.
What the hell's going on?
The lighting in this, I know obviously we have got like ray tracing enabled, but it does look very, very impressive, even on a lower end card. I think you can get ray tracing as low as is it the 3050, I believe. But I'm hopefully waiting for it. I've only had this card in about, is it a year, maybe 2? I'm not sure now. But obviously hoping to sort of go something next gen, hopefully at some point. But with the card prices, it's not a chance. I mean, Nvidia are on absolute drugs to be charging what they're charging you for a 70 class card, and that sort of goes the same for AMD. Although AMD, if AMD are actually going to become more competitive in terms of price and performance, but we shall see.
No fucking way.
And also the other thing is, you've also got durability on the knife like it had in Resident Evil 2. So that's going to make things way more intense. Oh, look at the gore, man. Unfortunately, in this demo, I haven't seen any of the parasites sprout out their heads as such. So I don't know if that's actually in this version or not. I haven't seen it in the demo. But you've got like 13 days since till this comes out anyway, so I suppose just being patient, unless you're like really, really excited, because I think this is going to be a big hit. Headshot and... Oh no, I've got no ammo. Fantastic. The Resident Evil, the engine, the RE engine is very, very impressive. I think this has been running on just about every single since Resident Evil, is it 7? Which I think came out in like, I don't remember, was it 16 or 2018? Something like that. I hope they've improved so you don't have to do so much escort missions with Ashley, because I think they're still in the game, but they're not as, from what I've read, they're supposedly not as intrusive, because that was one of the irritating aspects of RE4 was Ashley was always, you always had to make her hide somewhere before you got into a fight with any of these guys, because she'd always get in the way. But then most of the Resident Evil games that had that type of thing had issues anyway. Like 5, Shiva would always uh, waste your ammunition, which was always irritating.
Bruce, this is Condor 1.
Hunnigan here. What's your sit rep?
President's daughter, Baby Eagle. It's likely she's in this village.
Our intel was correct then. Well done.
Need a location on a nearby lake. She may have been taken there.
Copy that. I'll see what I can find.
Hurry up. Something's happened to the people here. My escorts are... Gotta go. Talk later. I'll let myself out.
There is something incredibly creepy about these things. Zombies are scary. There is something kind of frightening about these unhinged individuals. Love the lighting though. The lighting's incredible. I don't know what hardness modes are on this. I presume there'll be an easy and a normal. But this is reasonably challenging, and this is, I don't know, this is just on normal difficulty or what. And one thing I have noticed also is there doesn't appear, unless it's later in the game and that's not part of this demo, is that there's no boulder sequence in this. Unless that comes later on in the game, that's just not part of this particular demo. Because obviously the original game had lots and lots of quick time events. And you obviously got a typewriter. Obviously it's not enabled in the game, in the demo, but as you can save with them. So this is something new as well. They've brought in crafting materials. I don't believe they had crafting materials in the original RE4. Now the question remains: is the original game going to become quite a rarity now? Now that everyone's on the remake. I could have sworn there was some. And the Lord Lord Sadler guy that they are all referring to is pretty much the main honcho in this particular game. Also, Capcom have got a bit of a twisted sense of humour because there's actually a wolf in the original game that you actually free, um, which is a shame because I kind of like that. I'm a big fan of dogs and mammals in general. That was a weird statement to make. Anyway, more ammo, yes please. Reload a bit more. And obviously with this game you can upgrade your weapons, you can buy new weapons. But I always like to sort of upgrade the pistol. You can put stocks, custom sights on it, and more capacity for the ammo. And when you get the shotgun and upgrade that, then you can have some real fun. You can just blast them away quite easily. It's really, really good fun. Now, my idea was to keep shooting them in the legs, but that doesn't seem to do that much in this. That's one of the tricks I learnt from Rari 2. But maybe I need to be shooting them in the head. Oh, no you don't. Oh, that was easier than I expected. The problem with doing that is obviously in the full game they're going to sprout a lot of head tentacles and stuff, so you have to sort of be aware of that could actually happen, but I can't wait for this game. There's been a lot that's come out of late that's been absolutely stellar. Dead Space Remake was looking very, very good. Is it a game we're going to play? I don't know, not at the moment, but maybe. But Dead Space was always pretty good. And obviously you've got Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild sequel coming out. Diablo 4, please. Oh, god damn it, I fall for that every time. Diablo 4 is out is it May or June, so there's that. There's a lot of stuff coming out that's really, really interesting. There's been some disappointing stuff as well. The State of Play that came out, Sony's State of Play, yeah, it didn't look very. The Suicide Squad game, yeah, that didn't look good at all. That looked really, really bad. Yeah, it didn't look very good at all. Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, it looked like Avengers. And that wasn't a particularly good game. And I only played I believe it was the beta, and I found the game rather boring. But some people must have enjoyed it. There definitely is more atmosphere in this and more tension than the original. Whoa, what's this? That's weird. Lighting effects. Goes from a dark colour to... interesting. Lovely. The demo is very, very short. You play this particular area and that's about it. The humour is still there. It's not quite as campy as the original. I wonder if I can save him. No, you can't save him. That was a mistake. I should have done that. Run. Run for your life. It wasn't my best option to have done that, I don't think, to be honest. Go in here, quickly, quickly, hide, hide, hide. There's Chainsaw Boy. I hate that dude. Oh god.
Let's see you climb this.
Oh my god, that was a mistake and a half. Jesus Christ. This is really cool. Messed up, but really, really cool. Prick. That was bad. Oh shit. This is very, very bad. They don't like me at all. Oh, I've got 4 grenades. Okay, we're gonna have to bottleneck them into somewhere. Okay. I haven't quite got all the stuff from that room either because I panicked. I panicked. Oh my god. This is becoming a bit of a problem. Right, I've got to get back to that ladder. If I get back to that ladder, I can get off me. As you can see, the durability of my knife is dropping like a stone. Okay. Oh god, let's get out of here. Go, go, jump, jump, jump. Oh, Jesus Christ, these guys do not like me at all. Right, let's bottleneck these.
How's everyone going? Bingo?
And there you have it. That was intense as it really was tense the whole way through. Like just trying to avoid that. I'm still getting to grips with the keyboard and mouse on this particular version, but I just find it just easier to aim with a mouse. I was having a lot of problems with the PS5 pad, even though the PS5 pad has haptic feedback, where it does give you more of a kickback when you're shooting and stuff. So there you have it. There's Resident Evil 4 Remake. This is due out on the 24th of March. Can't wait to try this out. I've bought every other remake. They were all good. Resident Evil 3 wasn't a bad game, but there was way too much content in the game, cut out way too much content. But generally, like, I hope to sort of see. It'd be nice to see Jill Valentine back in a main game again. She's not been a main game since 5, I think. And so yeah, so there it is. I wonder how much is it on Steam. Let's have a look. £50. It's not as expensive as I expected it to be. I remember picking up the last Resident Evil 2 and 3. I think I got them on Green Man Gaming, I think, in the end. And here is your system specs for what you need to run it. So minimum requirements: GTX 1050 Ti. That's 10 series card. So that's like 2016 era as such. So that's not too bad. You should be able to run quite nicely on that. And there's your recommended specs. GTX 1070. That's not too bad. A Radeon 5700. So. And you could probably run lower than that as well if you just reduce the graphics settings a bit. But there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Resident Evil. Will you be buying it? Let us know in the comments. It's always nice to hear feedback from people about what they thought of this demo. I'm tempted actually to download it on Series X and try it on there and see if there's any terms of difference in terms of graphics. I don't imagine there is. But anyway, I will leave it there, and thanks for the time.